Over in the pages of World's Finest 7, I really enjoyed the introduction of the Boy Thunder character. Although I did think the Boy Thunder, also known as David Sakella, was a little thin in some of his characterization, I was intrigued at the idea of the creative team kind of introducing a fusion of the Batman and Superman origin stories. As David hails from an alternate Earth that's also doomed, similar to Superman's upbringing, but instead of hailing from a planet like Krypton, David comes from an alternate Earth and actually grew up in Gotham City. Or did he? My name is Arakko Braddock, and today let's go ahead and talk about the real identity of the Boy Thunder and review World's Finest number 10. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy our content, and also please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Next up, I want to introduce the creative team behind Batman Superman World's Finest number 10. This issue is written by Mark Waid, illustrated by Dan Mora, colored by Tamra Bonvillain, lettered by Steve Wands, and the cover for the issue is illustrated by Dan Mora as well. Next up, let's go ahead and read off the solicitation text for the issue. Strange Visitor, Chapter 4, Keys to the Kingdom. The deadly duo of the Joker and the Key have twisted the increasingly powerful Boy Thunder into a walking time bomb of destructive power. Batman and Superman's quest to guide young David toward the light takes an unexpected turn when the Teen Titans learn of the dark secret he's been hiding from the World's Finest. The Titans issue their ultimatum. Tell Superman and Batman, or they will. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the gorgeous cover over from Dan Mora. I love how much symbolism Mora was able to imbue on this cover by kind of throwing a deck of cards at the audience and having the kind of face turns reveal as an actual character of the issue, which is just such a clever way to bring out some of the symbolism in the issue. And if that wasn't enough greatness from Dan Mora, I want to show you the first page of the issue that is able to evoke so much symbolism with very few lines of dialogue, as we see the Joker slamming a newspaper down on the table that's introducing the mysterious identity of the Boy Thunder is going to be a big theme later on in the comic book issue. And I just love how Mora is able to really kind of evoke characters on the comic book page with such a slick and clean aesthetic. When it comes time to, Jokerize things or change the direction of the issue, I feel like Mora and Waid, the author Mark Waid, are really able to work together and bring some really haunting and vivid imagery throughout the series. One of my favorite sequences of this issue was when we are introduced to the backstory behind this Key character, and Dan Mora was able to really pull on some psychological elements that I don't think I've ever seen his art take on. Also, I need to give props to colorist Tamra Bonvillain throughout this issue, because her colors that she lends to the issue is really a massive part of what makes Dan Mora's work kind of come out and really shine through on the comic book page. I also had a great time reading through the script in this issue and just kind of experiencing what Mark Waid had to offer in terms of the Boy Thunder. Mark Waid really put so many clues as to who the Boy Thunder actually is. Once I was done with the issue, I went back for a second read through, and I was able to find some clues as to how Waid was foreshadowing the Boy Thunder's identity. And that, I think, is how you know that a comic book is written well, that when you're able to read through it a second time, you're able to pick up on some more nuance from the issue. Essentially, the way that the issue kind of kicks off is we're introduced to the Joker and Key having kidnapped David, the Boy Thunder, and this leads to some of the central conflict throughout the issue. I really enjoy this Key character, and I hope he's back for kind of future issues of World's Finest, and we're able to experience what exactly some of his future plans with the Joker may entail. Elsewhere, I think there are enough kind of out of the box or original elements that made it so some of my past reservations of Mark Waid's writing are mostly, out the window here. I wasn't expecting anything almost throughout this issue, and the fact that Mark Waid was able to keep me guessing and not resort to kind of that ultra violence that didn't serve the story really got me liking this issue a little bit more. David does have a violent outburst in this particular issue, but there's a really good story element that explains why Mark Waid, went down that path in the first place. Overall, I am super happy with World's Finest number 10. This issue does a fantastic job introducing the real identity of the Boy Thunder. And also the implications for the identity of the Boy Thunder are really interesting for the future of DC Comics. This character was somebody who needed to come back into DC Comics lore, and looks like they're going to have a really kind of solid foothold into the DCU with kind of recent announcements from James Gunn over in terms of, DC's film slate. So there's just a lot of exciting elements about this particular issue and series, and I'm glad that we're finally able to introduce the true purpose behind the Boy Thunder. So I want to know from you, did you like Batman Superman World's Finest number 10 as much as I did? Did you appreciate the reveal of the secret DC Comics character? I want you to let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and we'll be back very soon for some more excellent comic book content. We'll see you soon. Bye.